First of all, I'll start with Guru, Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha, Guru Devo Bhava. See, without Guru, we cannot transfer the knowledge or we cannot learn anything. So, this is the time to Smaran Guru. So, good morning, one and all, dear students and research scholars and faculties, and my dear fellow colleagues. I, Head Jeevan Rao, Assistant Professor, Aerospace Engineering, inviting you all on behalf of Amity School of Engineering and Technology for this webinar on how to write published research paper in good impact factor journals. So today we have our guest speaker, Professor Chinmay Prasad Mohanty, and our respected director, Amity School of Engineering and Technology, and Dean Academics, Amity University, Maharashtra, respected Srikant Charate, sir. Sir, please address the gathering. I would request you, please.
Thank you, Professor Jeevan. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. And uh, I congratulate both of you, Dr. Jigar and you, for organizing this particular webinar. And I welcome Dr. Chinmay Mohanty, who is
Thank you very much, sir.
during this particular webinar, which is very much important. In fact, I just finished my another meeting. I came here because this is a very important aspect of research. Uh, if you just go behind 10 years, 10 to 15 years, another 10 years only, there was no awareness about publications. There was no awareness about how to write, where to write exactly, besides IITs, NITs, and few research labs. But when it started from, I think 10 years, after 10 years, just after 10 years, this particularly this decade, there are many publications coming up and institutions are making mandatory for all the research scholars, faculty to publish something in papers, in journals. But what happens during this 6, 7 years? There are many journals which are predatory journals, fake journals coming in the market. The address is given of US or UK or some European country, and the publication house is based in either Delhi or somewhere else in India. This business is going on around the world, and if you look at the fees for publications, because I'm aware that for good publications it takes minimum 6 months nowadays, minimum 3 months, but it used to take at least 1 year to get a good journal paper published in any reputed or good impact factor journals. When you talk about the impact factor, nowadays we see some journals are with 10, 15 impact factors, and many are in predatory category or fake journals, you can say. Because even if you search for Springer or Taylor and Francis, even 1 or 1.5 impact factor is high impact factor for these journals. Earlier, there was no mandatory things to publish papers for your PhDs and for your MTechs, but now almost all universities have made it very category that one need to publish for at least getting the degree. So that's why this business has flourished. And everybody in either in technology field or in any other field, what we innovate, what we work, things should get published, because most of innovations, most of research is happening right now with the help of softwares, not much in lab, limited in the labs. And during this COVID-19, everything was online, so everything was happening with simulation kind of things or online. That's why nobody knows who is sitting in which corner of the world, and things will get published. That's why it is very important to publish a research paper in good reputed journals. For that, one has to have this literature review. When thesis comes up for evaluation to us, In fact, right now at 1 o'clock, I have one thesis to examine, the Vivos. We normally look at the first page and the last page. What are the references that referred by the candidates for that particular study? That's very important. There are good innovations and research from Indian scientists, from foreign scientists. But in case of research, if somebody is citing from national conference, which is of not importance, so automatically the credit goes down. So for each and every researcher at any stage, even for a student, for assistant professor, associate professor, professor, or professional, it's very much important to get in touch with what's happening right now. Because there are so many seminars happening on predatory journals, how to identify them. And from our own parent group from Amit University Gwalior, Dr. Narula is speaking on these issues, how to identify. But it's very, very difficult to identify this kind of journals. So then what option is left with us? Why can't we have the write-up for good journal? Good journal in the sense a good write-up, and then to publish in good journal, reputed journal, have some sort of study of journal also, that what kind of articles or what kind of research papers they are publishing, who are in the review board, who are in the editorial board, what is the frequency, how many volumes that particular journal has published. So these parts are very much important. And also how to write, how to publish, and how to identify good impact factor journals is also important. People normally defer to write or to publish in Indian journal, but there are some good Indian journals where they may not have the impact factor at all. They may not be attached to the Scopus. I'll give an example of a journal, Indian Concrete Journal, which is a part of civil engineering branch, and that journal is being published by the industry associations right from I think 1967. It's equally difficult to publish any research paper in that journal because the queue is for 1 year or 2 years. So I'm very much happy that the Department of Aerospace Engineering has organized this particular webinar with the expert Dr. Chinmay Mohanty. I hope every participant will get benefited, and it will be a help to each and everyone how to write and publish research paper or any given article or any given research what they are doing right now. So thank you very much, and I once again I welcome Dr. Chinmay Mohanty. Thank you,
Thank you very much, sir.
Chinmay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thanks for your informative and inspiring words. Thank you once again. So now I would like to introduce Professor Chinmay Mohanty. So Dr. Chinmay Prasad Mohanty completed his PhD from NIT Rourkela. Presently, he is working as a senior assistant professor in School of Mechanical Engineering, Vellore Institute of Technology, Vellore. And he is a hardcore researcher in his domain. And also he is having a research experience over a decade in his field. And his publications of various journals of international repute. At the same time, he has various patents and funding projects, which they are adding feathers to his cap. And he is essentially now currently he's guiding 4 PhD students, scholars, and 8 master's theses and 10 UG projects. And he is also reviewer of many journals like Journal of Manufacturing Process and Journal of Processes Mechanical Engineering and Journal of Engineering Manufacturing and the Sadhana Academia Sciences and others. So this webinar is going to helpful to every participant and attendee to understand the gap between the technical writing towards the manuscripts and research papers. So now I'm handovering this session to Professor Mohanty sir. Please, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Jivan, Director sir, and Jigar sir for giving me this opportunity to deliver this talk on how to write and publish papers in good impact factor journals. So with your permission, I will start this session. I'm really honored to address this distinguished gathering on virtual mode and sharing the knowledge, perhaps known as teaching, and with sharing knowledge, your knowledge will even increases more. So with view of this, we'll start our session today.
Yes,
So I'll,
please.
Jivan sir, can you?
Yes,
Oh, okay, I'm already a presenter, so I'll share my screen.
Yes, please, sir.
I've started sharing my screen.
Yes, sir. We can see your presentation.
So I hope my desktop is visible to you, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You could able to see.
Yeah. I, from my core of the heart, I would like to, with your permission, can I turn off this video from my side, Jivan sir, because it is consuming
Yes,
a lot of data.
Please,
So I'll
sir,
turn off this
please.
video right now, and in
Yes.
the end, I'll again turn on. So the topic is how to write or publish research papers in good impact factor journals. Okay. So before we start the presentation, let us introduce ourselves. We must introduce ourselves as I'm Dr. Chinmay Prasad Mohanty, presently working as an assistant professor senior in the School of Mechanical Engineering, Vellore Institute of Technology, Vellore. In total, my experience as an author, I have got 48 publications to my credit, out of which 38 papers are as corresponding author. And from VAT point of view, I have published 30 number of papers. The total impact factor generated is 70.8, and my H index as per Google Scholar is 10. As per Scopus database, it is also 10. And total citation as per Google Scholar, it is going to be 410. The I10 index as per Google Scholar is 10. And I have got a few publication in top ranked journals like Journal of Intelligent Manufacturing. The journal is having present impact factor of 6.5, and Journal of Manufacturing Process. There also I'm having 2 papers. Impact factor presently 5.086. Engineering, Science and Technology. It is having impact factor of 4.3, and there I'm having 3 papers. And Energy Resources Part A, Recovery Utilization, I'm also having 2 papers. It is having impact factor of 3.2. So there are several papers that I have published in my decade-long research career. In total, 48 papers extracted from Scopus database in between 2012 to 2021. Recently, I have received approval of a funded project from prestigious DRDO, Government of India Aeronautical Research Development Board, of funding of 10.52 lakhs for 3 years for the project development, and for the project entitled Development of a Stable Machinability Investigation and Thermal Modeling of Aerospace Material in April 2021. Last month also have received a seed grant of 5.8 lakhs from Vellore Institute of Technology for a period of 3 years for the project Experimental Investigation and Parametric Optimization of Selective Laser Melting Process. So these are all my short credentials in my research careers, and some of the popular articles which I have published of late are the paper I published in Journal of Intelligent Manufacturing, Q1 Journal SCI Impact Factor 6.5. It has been published in the year 2014 in the 27th volume, has been already downloaded more than 400 times and cited by 73 times. Similarly, another paper published in the Journal of Engineering, Science and Technology, Q1 SCI Impact Factor 4.3, and it has been published in the year 2007 in the 20th volume for this journal, and already cited by it has been already downloaded by 300 times and cited by more than 68 times. And recently, last year in the month of October, I published one paper in Journal of Manufacturing Process. 5.086 is the impact factor, and it is coming in the 58th volume. And it has already, I have received mail that it has been downloaded more than 200 times. And one paper I published in Taylor and Francis Publishers in the Energy Resources Part A, Recovery Utilization and Environmental Effect, Q1 3.26 is the impact factor. Already it has received more than 200 downloads. And also I am the editorial, I'm handling some editorial responsibility. I am editorial board member for digital manufacturing technology, not that reputed one, but I am also editorial board member for IJPQM, International Journal of Productivity Quality Management, InterScience Publishers. And along with that, I am a potential reviewer, international reviewer for various reputed publishing agencies like Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Sage, InterScience, Emerald, Wiley in the field of mechanical and manufacturing engineering field. And some of the top recognized journals for which I have reviewed manuscripts are Journal of Manufacturing Process, Journal of Process Mechanical Engineering, Journal of Engineering Manufacture, Sadhana Academy of Sciences, Journal of Materials Engineering Performance, Alexandrian Engineering Journal, Manufacturing Review. So these are some of the important journals which I have reviewed in my research career. For them, I have reviewed many papers. Now, we'll enter into the topic for what we have been gathered here. The topic is path to publication. That means how can we publish our papers? So the first step while you think about your publication is that you should be having some good idea. That means you should be having a novel thinking or novel thought. So once you have it, a novel thought, you should think of it in which direction you can extend it, what is the problem involved in it, and to solve that problem, what are the evaluation methodology you are going to adopt so that it can be easily solved. So that is what is called, once you are going to solve it perfectly with identifying its input variables, proper variables, and with proper performance measure, and you are improving it, and you are comparing with the result what you are getting with previous researchers, and you are getting a good result by comparing with them. Then if you're getting some success, that is what is called as research. Okay, so you should have a good thinking and good novel thinking ability to start your work. So that is what is called as research. Then after finding your research, what you need to do, then you should identify the platform or the venue where you should publish. Okay, that means the journal where you should publish. So that is what is called as identifying the venue, the perfect platform you are going to sell your research. That is called as identifying your venue. There are so many publishers like Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Sage, and InterScience, Wiley, many publishers. You can choose any, you can go to their site and check for the journals and whatever fitting to your demand, then you can submit journal to their site and you can go according to their demand. Okay, next is, after you have identified your research, you have identified the platform, next you should decide your title. What should be an ideal title? Then for that title, what is the proposed work you have proposed that you should write in your own language with a brief summary. That brief summary is called as abstract, and that abstract should include what is the problem, to address that problem, what are the major work methodology you are going to propose, that it should summarize, and in the end some part of the result that should conclude your abstract. And then you should outline how you should outline, means you are going to plan what are the contents of your paper. That means what will be inside your paper you are going to keep it. The first one will be obviously your introduction. Second one will be your methodology, main material, method, whatever you have used for conducting experiment or simulation. Then you include in that all is an experimental category or simulation category. Next is your result and discussion. Then you should not go directly into the result and discussion, and you should give some background about of what work you have conducted. Then 1 or 2 lines you should write. Then you should write some about your result and discussion. Then finally your major finding you should discuss with an technical analysis and justification, with comparing your work with previous research work. You are getting some good result, then that definitely it is going to be appreciated by one and all, that you should highlight. And in the end you should write some conclusion. That means the methodology whatever you have adopted, and with that methodology how much result or improvement you have got comparing to previous researcher, and how much it is going to be benefit for the contribute for the technical benefit of the technical of the society point of view, which problem it is going to particularly solve. Then you can highlight some of the major finding of your work in terms of bullet points or numbering heading, whatever, that is what called as conclusion. That is all these things starting from introduction, methodology, result and discussion, conclusion. There all things are coming under the outline, how you are going to prepare your manuscript. Next, whatever I have told you, whatever your outline, you need to put it in proper drafting format. That is what is called as writing. Once you have drafted it properly, it is going to be with proper English language, maintaining every logical flow, technical goal, objectives should be clear, everything should be there. It is going to, yeah, it is now ready for submit. Now once you are going to decided your platform where you are going to submit, you have, because you have already identified platform in the second state. So once you have identified the platform, now you are going to submit it. So submit it where? To the platform where you have submitted. There are so many potential publishers, like as I've told you, Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Sage, Wiley, wherever you want, wherever your work will fit in that scope, you should submit there. Okay, and after submission you will fit some, you will have some revision, acceptance or rejection. All these things, these 7 points we'll be discussing in detail today. This is the path to publication. The thing is that why we should take so much of pain, why we should take, why we should publish. Let it be, we are doing some work, we should keep it with us. That is our credit. Why we should publish it? No, we need to increase our human knowledge, we need to increase our knowledge, we need to improve our writing, we need to improve our English, and we feel a sense of completion. Yes, we did some work, it has been documented and it is already online, it has been accepted by one of the reputed publisher like Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Wiley. So it is going to be widely accepted. It is, and your work is getting promoted. That means once it has been documented, some other people who is working behind you, they will work on your they will use your methodology, they will cite your paper. By their citation, your reputation will be increasing. Okay, last one is your creation. Your creation is documented for reference for your own. That is, I think I have already told you. So for these things, why we should publish? We can increase our knowledge, our English will be improved, our drafting will be improved, our writing will be improved, and we'll feel the sense of completion. Yes, I have published a paper. Yes, I am feeling good right now. I mean, wherever you will go worldwide, not only in India, worldwide, wherever you will go, people will appreciate you. You will be appreciated wherever you'll go. You'll show that you have published a paper in this type of publisher. People will say, oh my God, that's a very good work he has done. Let us, if you are a UG student, they will take you for PG admission or MS admission. If you are a MS student, they will take you for PhD. If you are a PhD scholar, you have done a good work in your research career, they will take you as a postdoctoral fellow. There you can earn more. So that's why you should publish. Your research should be documented, and it should be cited by some people. Your English should be good, and you will gain some very good knowledge, and most importantly, you'll get some promotion, and your reputation will be very high. That's why you should definitely publish. That's why publication is important. Okay, so how you should publish? Now I'm coming to the path of research right now. You can see the first step is what? Research. How you should start your research. Wow, the why we should publish, that I have already told you. Next is how we should do our research. Okay, the first step is identify and develop your topic, the topic on which you are comfortable, you have worked, you are having interest. That's why you need to identify by yourself. You need to identify yourself and develop your topic. Okay, the second step is to do a preliminary search on the information. Where you are going to search, you need to go to directly to the site Science Direct. There directly you should give your keyword. Okay, directly go to the site of the Science Direct and directly give your keyword in a particular field, whatever you want to work. There you give your keyword, and there you search papers, and you'll read those papers. Once you'll read, you will not understand anything. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times you'll read, you should make a note of it, whatever you are reading. After reading 10 or 15 times, you may be able to identify what is going on there. In the end, you will find that some papers are some works are relevant, so you just categorize them. What are the works are relevant? Just these are all similar types. Some works are experimental kind of work, some work as simulation type of work, some works are doing some optimization work to just you need to club them together. So after reading these many papers, you will get some idea that this field, this type of work has been already done. What I will do new, so that what I will do so that will be a new work or a novel work, or it will be appreciated by people. It has never been done. You need to identify that potential gap area. If you are identifying that potential gap area, then you can decide your objective and which literature gap it is going to fill. That is very, very important. So this is how you are going to formulate your problem. Slowly you are coming to formulate your problem after doing a lot of literature survey, near about 30 to 50 recent papers on a particular field for that last particular paper. Now, in the meantime, I can show you a glimpse how you are going to see, do a preliminary research for your information. So for that, what you need to do, you need to go to, I've told you, you need to go to Science Direct. Directly open the Science Direct field. Science Direct. 1 minute. Let me just go to directly Science Direct. There you will find one option for keywords. Suppose you want to work in a field of a particular machining field or electrical discharge machining field. You can see give your keyword as EDM, electrical discharge machining. Then you give your keyword. Plenty of papers, recent papers, they will be coming over here. You can see over here. These are all plenty of papers. These are all, since I am operating from my personal internet, I am not having access to download these papers. But some papers are, you can see over here, they are open access, they are free to download. You can directly download it by simply just clicking here it. But some papers, no, they will ask for money. But if the institution is having access to those journals, those journal category, you can directly download it without paying any money. But some journals, they will ask for money, like they will not be getting downloaded over here. But here all are showing PDF. That means this paper, you can see this will not be, I'm not able to, I'll not be able to download. He's asking you, see, purchase PDF. I'll have to pay some money to PDF. In this case, you need to log in through the institute mail ID to download this paper. The institute will be having access. Amity University will be having this access to download these papers. Okay. If I log in through my VIT, our institute site, Vellore Institute of Technology, our institute is having some user ID password. If I log in through that, I'll be able to download this paper. So what I mean to say is that in a particular field, if you're downloading papers, you need to read it number of times, number 3, 4, 5. After 5 to 6 times, you are going to read it. In the end, you will be able to gain some idea, knowledge. Oh, some papers are relevant. These are this type of work. These are this type of work. Okay, segregate them, categorize them according to their to the type of work that has been done in their field. Then you'll be having some knowledge. Oh, this type of work has been done, so this has not been done. If this is going to be done, this literature gap, it is going to fill. This is how it is going to contribute for the mankind or human benefit. You need to highlight those, and you need to start writing your work. Okay, and that is what I mean by preliminary study. So I'm coming back to my slides. Yes. So I'm coming back to my site. So preliminary studies is over. Now you need to locate your materials. So you want to do some locate your material means if you're having some experimental work, you arrange what is the manpower you need, what is the material, method, machinery, equipment, whatever you need. For that, you need to spend a lot of amount of money for your material methods. And also if you're doing some kind of simulation work, you need to arrange some softwares. And also simulation results require some, you remember it, if you're doing anything by simulation, you need to validate it, otherwise people will not believe you. Whatever result you are getting, you need to compare it by conducting one experiment or by comparing with previous researchers' work. Then only people will believe you, otherwise not. So that is what is called as locate material, identify your resources, then evaluate your resources. You need to identify, you need to start your work, that is called as evaluate your resources, and you need to make note and develop some new ideas. After reading all these things, you have developed a new idea. So this particular field, this work has been done, this has been done, but there exists a gap in this particular field. This problem has not been solved yet. So we should address this particular problem so that we can do our so that it can fill this literature gap and easily it can be solved to this problem of the mankind. Okay, then you can, that is what is called a novel thinking. So your novel thinking has come, so now you can plan for your work accordingly. Okay, the next step is, you should become familiar with the journals. Identifying your venue. That means the second step, as I've told you, the second step in path to research, identifying venue. As you can see here, the research part is over. Next step is identifying venue. Identifying venue means where you are going to sell your research. That is what is called as identifying your venue. So here you need to go to the you need to be familiar with the journals. You need to identify two possible venues, one or two possible venues where you need to upload papers. Suppose you are working in field. I'm saying about my field. I'm working in manufacturing mechanical field. So in my field, one very good journal is Journal of Manufacturing Processes. Okay, there you need to identify whether that particular is having a quality, good quality, or it is not having good quality. So how can you know that? You need to go to the site of the journal directly, type in Google the type of the journal, whatever you have decided in that journal name, you type in Google. Okay, suppose you want to type Journal of Manufacturing Process, directly you search in Google. Okay, so immediately first link will come, that is the Elsevier link. You directly go to the site of the journal, check for the impact factor. You can see 5.010 is the impact factor. The impact factor is 0.510. How you are going to identify the quality of the journal is to identify the impact factor. If the impact factor is good, the journal is good. And after, if it is having impact factor, the second most important thing is that whether you should check about the indexing of the journal, whether it is Scopus indexed or Google Scholar indexed or SCI indexed or ESCI. ESCI stands for Emerging Source Citation Index, and SCI stands for Science Citation Index. Even ESCI has also come, Expanded Science Citation Index. So you need to search for indexing of the journal. So where you can search for it, go directly to the journal. Otherwise, if you're not getting it over here, you can search in the indexing. Yeah, yes, you see, you do not have to go there. You can see all indexing are over here, present over here. As I've told you, these are all category of good indexed journals. Okay, so where it has been indexed, you can see the most important one, the most powerful one, Science Scientific Index Expanded, SCIE. So if the journal is having a SCI indexed, SCIE means it is having some impact factor. Impact factor is 5.01. If a journal will be having, it will be indexed in SCIE, then only it will be having impact factor. Otherwise, it is not going to have impact factor. Then there is another database that is called as Scopus database. Not necessarily, but all the, this is one important statement you try to understand, that all SCI indexed journals are Scopus indexed, but all Scopus indexed journals are not having impact factor. Suppose I am saying this Journal of Manufacturing Process, this is SCI indexed, but it is also Scopus indexed, but that means all SCI indexed journals are Scopus indexed journals, but all Scopus indexed journals are not having having impact factor. Okay, but all SCI indexed journals, they are having impact factor. So only SCI, you should remember it. You should publish papers only in SCI indexed journals, and the abstract should be at least indexed in Scopus. If you don't, you cannot publish it, at least you should not go fall beyond Scopus. So at least, okay. Another example I'm saying, that is also one Scopus index journal, IJPQM. That is not SCI, that is not having SCI index, that is only Scopus index. Scopus index journals are also okay, but they are not having impact factor. You should, your first target should be, your journal should be having impact factor. Now you can ask me, sir, what do you mean by impact factor? How can you decide the impact factor of a journal? So impact factor is nothing but the average number of citation that particular journal has received in the last 2 years. Okay, so here you can see, going about the indexing, it is not having an impact factor. As I've told you, you can see this is the indexing. You see more indexes. Okay, whatever indexes it is have, but it doesn't have SCI index. You can see it is indexed by Scopus Elsevier, but it is not SCI index. Since it is not SCI indexed, it is not having impact factor. It has reached a volume of 34 number of volume, and some issues must be going on. If you go into that volume, that issue, you will be able to know. And what is the, so this is how you are going to identify your venue. And you need to identify the theme or particular area, or otherwise if you are going to submit randomly to any particular work, to any particular, without you doing your pre-work, then immediately you will fail rejection. The editor will immediately reject your manuscript without saying, he will write a single line that your journal is out of scope. Okay, so that is very, very important, the identifying the venue for your journal. Okay, so this is how you are going to distinguish in between identifying your journal, SCI indexed, Scopus indexed, ESCI indexed, and how the journal is going to have some impact factor. And every year the impact factor of a particular journal improves, because every year citation increases for that particular journal, impact factor increases. Okay, so this is how you are going to identify. And you should also read the author guidelines correctly. You should also read the author guidelines correctly before submitting your manuscript. and you should know, you should register yourself for that journal. You should be having a particular template. You should be knowing the particular drafting style for that journal. You should be knowing the particular reference writing style, particular figure writing style, particular table and figure, in which order they are going to be written. Everything you should be knowing before you should do. That is also one small research before finalizing your work to submit in that particular journal. Okay, even in some cases you can email to an editor that I want to submit your paper. If you will be agreeing, you can. It is not essential. This is email to an editor, editor to your abstract. This is not essential. Okay, directly you search by yourself. You decide whether it is fitting to the scope of your journal or manuscript. Your manuscript is fitting to the scope of the journal. Directly you can go for submit. Okay. Next, you should, so before you starting your work, you should use this SPSE principle. This SPSE, what do we mean by SPSE principle? That is situation, problem, solution, evaluation. This is how you are going to write your paper. You are in which situation right now? Describe the general background of the paper, setting in which your research work takes place. Then what are the problems you are going to face in your field? That particular problem you need to highlight. You can be able to only know after doing a strong literature survey. After doing a strong literature survey, you will be able to know what is the problem lying in that particular field. So that particular problem you need to highlight, and what has not been done, you project yourself that you are going to project it. And if you are going to project it, this is the solution. Why did you try to try to address it? You should propose it perfectly. Then what is the solution and how you are going to evaluate your problem, the result and discussion section. Then finally with the end conclusion. So this SPSE technique you should follow before writing a paper. Okay, next one is Jivan sir, are you able to hear me, Jivan sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, you're audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
But
fine,
this top
perfectly fine.
surface heading is not visible to me. I don't know why it is this presenting give control. I think is it visible to
Now,
you?
sir. Yes, sir. I would able
This
to
is
see.
actually title, the title of the heading, how you should finalize your title. Okay, anyways, I'll try to manage.
So now you are able to see that?
Yes. It has gone now.
Yeah,
Thank you
okay.
very much, sir.
Okay.
Thank
okay,
you, sir.
Okay, sir.
So now you have planned for your research. Now next thing is that what you should do, you should plan for your title. Your title should be eye-catching. Your title, mind it, your title should be eye-catching. It should have some tool to help grab attention. It should have some tool so that your editor or your reviewer, once he will read it, he's going to be attracted towards the title. Okay, what makes a good title? You need to analyze yourself and you need to think. It is not that someone will come. In some cases, there will be in case of a PhD scholar, there may be a guide. They can guide him to get a very catchy title. Like I'm giving an example. I'm working in this machining, EDM machining field for the past 10 years. I'm having a vast knowledge about the machining field. Here, you'll find that the major problem encountered in EDM field is that high erosion of EDM electrode. Why that EDM electrode gets eroded? It significantly increases the cost of machining as well as causes interruption during machining. Now, if interruption comes in machining, the machining time also increases. Machining time increases means labor charge increases. Labor charge increases means tool cost increases. Everything it is going to be a non-productive way. It is going to be beneficial. So in that way, the commonly used tool materials are copper, tungsten, graphite, brass. They are all the commonly used material. In that case, now you must be knowing that nowadays 3D printing, metal 3D printing has emerged into this field. Now, if you are going to introduce that particular word, that 3D printing, you are going to introduce a 3D printed copper electrode. Now, what happens in case of a 3D printing? Dense tools with very good thermal conductivity or the mechanical property tools can be produced with the help of 3D printing. Now, if you're going for 3D printing, dense tools can be produced. Dense tools can they will not erode that much, and also since they'll be having good thermal conductivity, they will dissipate good amount of it, as well as there will be a good resistance against corrosion or erosion, whatever you can say. So if you are going to introduce those, then ultimately you should that particular thing you're highlighting this 3D printed electrode. Your title should be like this: effect of 3D printed electrode on electrical discharge machining performance. You see, your article will go through because of that particular word 3D printed, because it has a new thing. Some new thing must be there, some new novelty, and some eye catching, so that your reviewer or editor, he will get impressed, and your journal will go through the truly in the smoothly in the review process. You need to analyze, you need to give your own for your own title. Okay, you need to think that this is your son, yeah. Otherwise you cannot make it go through. Otherwise you have to give your 100% more than 200% effort for that solving that particular problem. Okay, so after finalizing the title, you should write the abstract. You should write the abstract. The abstract should be in between 300 to 500 words with a proper structure, and there should be a precise, clear, interesting information provided in the abstract. No, it should not be that much detail. Okay, it should be written in brief with entire focus on the work to enable it with some kind of major findings. Okay, by reading this abstract and conclusion, they are very important for the paper to go through the review process. Okay, and you should if you're writing something in future tense, like the results will be, methods are presented, future research is discussed. This is not advisable. You should highly eliminate it from your work, from your abstract. So while writing the abstract, you should be remembering three things. It should be in between 300 to 500 words. It should be properly structured. It should be precise. It should be having some clear goals, and it should be interesting. Okay, and one example of abstract I'm going to show you. This is one abstract example, and in the end of the abstract, you can see from here to here it has been described up to it is within 500. 510 or 520 words, and the EDM will at the end of the abstract, some of the major highlight of the work, some highlighting words, whatever you are going to start, some like input parameters or process variables, whatever you want, you can make them. EDM, electrode wear ratio, soaking duration. This has in this work, for this particular work, soaking duration was important. That's why I have kept soaking duration, electrode wear ratio are important. Some new tools of like TOPSIS, TLB has never been applied. You can use this as your work. Okay, and how you are going to construct it, as I've told you, the structure is very important. It should be within 300 to 500 words. The structure is important. The thing is that it should be having three structures. So what are the structure? The first structure is what is the problem, to address that problem, what you are proposing. The last one is what is the result or measure finding, what you have got. So here you can see in between it is being given over here in between 300 to 500 words. The green region is the problem. You can see I have used some words like high erosion of tool, improper machining variables, major obstruction. So these are all problems. Okay, these are all problems highlighted in green. Next is your major summary of your work, whatever the methodology you have used, and to make a good quality work, that you write in a brief. So the entire manuscript work is being shortened to these 3 or 4 lines that has been included over here. And in the end, you're writing some of the major finding over here. And since some algorithm, some MATLAB coding is being used, you're getting some optimum condition. So in the end, you are going to use some conformative test. It is predicting an error of 2.17%. You should be very precise and accurate, whatever. You can see I'm mentioning over here. I'm mentioning, you go through any paper. They will mention like this. So in this, you'll see that the first part of the abstract should be what is the problem. The second part is the summary of your work, what you are proposing to carry out this research. And the last part is the major finding, major tools and equipment, and major finding, whatever you have used, you need to highlight there. So this is how you are going to write your abstract. Very important. 300 to 500 words. Structure should be important, and it's as I've told you, precise, clear, and interesting. No future tense, and in the end, it should be provided with some keywords. Keywords should be also having some novelty in terms of your input variables or process parameters or some tools, whatever you are going to use. Okay. And structure, again, I have it with different shades of color. Green region is what? It is for your problem definition. And the next is to address that problem, what you're proposing, your brief summary of the work, and major finding you need to address. Okay. And next is, in some cases, to attract, you will go to any Elsevier journal randomly. You select, not randomly, most of the Elsevier journals, not all. Most of the Elsevier, they will ask for graphical abstract. Now, what do you mean by graphical abstract? Graphical abstract is a single, concise, pictorial, or visual summary of the main findings of the article. By means of picture, you are going to describe the entire course of the work. That means over here, you can see there are in the first line, I'm showing some. These are the equipments used for calculating the performance measures for this work, and the technology, machining technology, even the machining technology itself, it is being shown over here in terms of very two short diagrams. One is cryogenic setup, one is NQL setup. Last one is some of the major finding and whatever. So ultimately, if you're going to present in this manner, this editor as well as your reviewer, they will get impressed. So this nowadays, this graphical abstract trends has started. It has originated from China. It has started from China and it has gained a lot of popularity. Like this COVID has been originated from China. These people are the Chinese people. They're awesome. Actually, they're having so much of knowledge. They will start everything new. Okay, from their side. I mean, the world is also following them. So these Chinese people, they have started writing graphical abstract. Even now, also, I'm following their trend. I'm trying to everything in form of the graphical abstract so that it will go through easily. So this graphical abstract, as I've told you, it's a single concise pictorial visual summary of your main findings of the article, so that your reviewer as well as your editor will get attracted, and immediately it will send you, no, I'll take this paper. I'll take this paper. Let us see what are the comments I'm getting for this review. I may get some positive comment. Let us. So these are the things that are coming. Okay, this graphical abstract is very, very important. Then this is actually one of my published recent papers, the graphical abstract I've shown you over here. Next is how you are going to imagine your outline, the structure, the flow, the logic, the meaningful titles, and most importantly, you should take some feedback. Feedback means you have written a paper. What you need to do, you need to consult your colleague or your friend, or if you're having a supervisor, you just give them. He will read it. He will give you some feedback. Sir, this is correct or not? How I can improve the quality of the work? He will give you some from very good, precise advices. Those advices, if you can consider, you take them positively, and don't take anything to your heart. Take them positively. Revise your manuscript. You see that your quality of your manuscript will be improving, and in the end, you should acknowledge for whatever support you have received for the organization who have funded you. Suppose I'm working for MIT University, I must acknowledge for the support of what I'm getting in terms of tools and equipments, or financial, any other financial support, research support, whatever I'm getting. I will write one line. The authors are acknowledged to the financial support or the tools and equipments or the lab facility available at the MIT University to conduct this research work. So we'll write means this organization will get some benefit. He will be getting some self promotion tool. Okay, so this acknowledgement is very, very important. And the thing is that if you're not acknowledging, what will happen? Without acknowledging, you have given a paper, the journal will not accept. In some cases, journal has also accepted. The second time you are going to MIT University asking him or requesting him to conduct your work, they will not entertain you this time. Okay, oh, you have not given us acknowledgement. You search your own way. They will find you. They will tell you like that. Okay, so these are the things, the structure, as I've told you, the structure, everything I will be discussing in detail, the flow, how you can maintain the flow, the logic, the technical logic, the meaningful titles, everything you should be taken care of. The valuable feedback you can take from your colleague, from your guides, from your supervisor, and in the end, acknowledgement. These are very, very important while imagining the outline of the manuscript. Okay. Now, while imagining the outline of the manuscript, you can see the first basic thing is that background. Okay, now background is nothing but introduction. Introduction should highlight, your introduction section is very, very important. If you're not writing introduction in a particular way, you'll get a comment like your introduction is not about the topic. That means topic is one way, introduction section is another way. Okay, so the highlight of the need for the current work must be highlighted. Why this work is important? The introduction section should highlight the why this research work is important, why it is going to benefit to you, which purpose it is going to be solved, which for the human society, for human mankind, how it is going to be beneficial. That is what is very, very important. Next, after highlighting your work, your current work, why it is need, why it is important, then you should clearly define your objective, your prime objective for this work. This is the methodology I'm going to use. These are the performance measures I'm going to study. These are the input variables, and these are the tools I'm going to use to, like that you can do. Okay, that is what is called as methodology. Then what is the technical of that is what is called as objective. Next is methodology. What is the methodology? It is the experimental work. What you should make a note of the design of the experiment, whatever you have taken. Then what are the tools and equipments you have taken, how you are selected the process parameters, how you have selected the how you have measuring the performance measures of that particular process, and highlighting everything should be provided with some figures like equipment name, machine, equipment figure, equipment make, model, everything you should highlight there, okay, in the methodology section. And next is your result and discussion. Result and discussion, you can discuss about your result, whatever major finding you have got with technical analysis and justification. Next is conclusion, whatever major finding you have got from a conclusion, you can highlight there. So this is the manuscript outline. This is how you are going to analyze it. We are going to discuss in detail, I have told you, okay. So I will go into detail. So how can you go to the background? Add relevant studies in that area. That means what? Literature. You need to go study for literature. Literature should be, you are going to collect, download papers from Science Direct, collect relevant papers. You will find similar papers are in few papers and similar in one context. Accumulate them, gather them in one fold. Some are experimental, some are numerical, some are doing some kind of optimization studies. So this type of work. So then after reading these are paper 30-40 papers in that particular field, okay, this type of work has been already done. These are the works has been already done, I have noted, but this has not been done. If this will be done, this is the literature gap which is existing. So if this will be done, this is the advantage it is going to provide to the mankind. This problem, it can be solved. It can resist the wear resistance of EDM process, like that. Okay. And you need to know, you need to highlight what has not been done before. That is very, very important. That is what has not been done. That is only your novelty. That only you are going to propose in your objective, so that it is going to work as a tool to go through that review process. Okay, you need to highlight your novelty in this particular work. So how your work is contributing in existing knowledge, scientific significance, research hypothesis, major objectives, and brief experimental design you are going to provide in case of your background. Okay, so as I've told you, read number of papers, define your objective, identify proper gap. After identifying the gap, you are knowing the novelty right now, because you are knowing what are the works that has now never been done as of now. So what has not been done as of now, that we are going to propose. And these are, if I'm proposing, these are the problems which can be solved, and these are the methodology I'm going to achieve it. This is my objective with technical relevance and scientific objective significance. You are going to write everything. Okay, so this is all about your background. At the end of the introduction section, this is very, very important. You have completed everything, then you should write a strong conclusion from the literature survey at the end of introduction section. That means you have gone through near about 30 to 40 papers on a particular field. You have gained a lot of knowledge, but that is what is called as knowledge gain. And what is the strong conclusion you are going to draw? So this is a strong conclusion which has been done for a particular research work. A critical study of past literature. This is an example, just an example I'm giving. And whatever you are writing, you should provide with reference backup, literature backup. Otherwise, people will not believe you. Like this is an example I'm saying. Critical study of past literature on cry-to-dead idiom reveals that past studies primarily focus on a particular duration of soaking duration. This soaking duration is my key point. Okay, this is my. No one has emphasized on soaking duration. Maybe so much work has been done, but this is my trump card. This is going to tear off all whatever difficulty I'm going to face in my future hurdles. Okay, so this soaking duration, without justifying the purpose for the same, has not been evaluated, and there is no technical analysis, no justification. And for that, I am also giving some references. Not I am giving, the researchers generally give some references. It is also observed the aspects of soaking duration and its outcomes on machining performance of the process have not emphasized intensively in the literature. So these are not done, as I've told you. No, these are not. These are all literature gap. They are actually the trump card. The editor or the reviewer, these are going to kill the reviewers. Okay, they will know that this has done a proper literature survey, and the paper should go, will give some comment, slight comment, some grammar correction or something like that, and it should go through to the next stage. Okay. Further, the optimal process condition using cry-to-dead idiom is not adequately dealt in the literature. Okay. Therefore, this attempt must be made to find the optimum level of machining parameter by using, because this has not been done. This will be done. If this will be done, what are the advantages you are going to get? Engineers will be able to select the optimum process condition without facing any difficulty. Therefore, in view of this problem, I am proposing this present investigation. A next paragraph you should introduce. Therefore, the present investigation aimed at justifying the effectiveness of soaking duration. The soaking duration effect is analyzed, and you are going to write your objective, whatever you are going to do. This experimentation I'm going to propose, these are the methodology, these are the tools, and with this ideal process condition for EDM process can be achieved to enhance the EDM performance. Like that you can predict. Next is, the introduction part is over. Next part is your experimental design section, or if you're doing some simulation, this is simulation section. If you're doing some simulation, first you write down what are the general boundary condition, general equation the software is used is solving to predict the temperature distribution, pressure distribution, or velocity distribution in that particular field. Okay, like you people are aerospace engineers, so you must be using ANSYS and Fluent very much effectively. So you should be knowing what are the equations the ANSYS or Fluent it is solving to predict the temperature distribution. I think mostly Fourier heat conduction governing equation to predict the temperature distribution. That all the important equation you should summarize first. Okay, after writing that, I'm saying if it is a simulation, if it is experimentation, you write about your experimental detail. What is the on which variable you have. First, what you are doing, you are doing some design of experiment. After doing some design of experiment, you are selecting your ideal input parameters. After selecting ideal input parameters, what you are doing, that selection of input parameters be based on your literature survey. That is very, very important. Okay, and after selecting, you are planning your experiment, and with that plan, you are conducting your experiment. You are calculating, these are your performance measure, everything, and you are studying the effect of these input variables on these responses. Then you also write how you have calculated the performance measures. Like for a EDM process, I'm saying material removal rate, tool wear ratio, surface roughness, all these things you can easily predict. You should properly define by which equipment, make and model you are using to predict the name of the performance measure. Then what are the results you are going to study. Next is after materials method. This is all about experimentation. And if simulation, as I've told you, first you should start with the setup, defining all your equations, and equation, or you make sure that all the equations, all the alphabets must be properly defined, and you should define your boundary condition, then your model, your meshed model, and make model and meshed model, everything. Boundary condition also you need to define, and then solution methodology, that is also very, very important. Most researchers don't write solution methodology, but you cannot write directly in simulation, but you can do what you can do. You can use some just in Word. You don't like directly step by step, but some other language, by some other means, by escaping some steps, you can write in that fashion. Okay, so with that, your experimental material method section is completed. If you're having simulation, that also completed. With that, we are going to come to the result. Now, when you are coming to result, you should not directly come to result. Rather, it should come with some slight background. That means you should write the mode of experiment by which experiments are conducted. So suppose it is I have done some kind of experiment. You start your result and discussion section like experiments are conducted. RSM Boxman can design to study the effect of these parameters on the responses. These are responses, and as many as 26 or 46 experiments are conducted, and analysis of variance is conducted. These are the input parameter. Like that, you should slowly, gradually progress in your results and discussion section, and there you should add all your figures. You should be strictly adhere to the journal guidelines of the journal while writing about the caption for the figure and table. You should very much strictly, and also you should be you should be taking care of the number of figures and number of tables which must be provided in the manuscript, and all the tables, and you should be making sure that all the tables and manuscript, they must be properly cited. They must be properly cited in the manuscript. Citation means suppose somewhere I'm writing, UG people will not understand what means citation. For them only I'm saying citation means. Suppose I'm writing here, this is my figure number 1 or figure number 2. So figure number 2 must be cited. The figure 2 shows the EDM setup on which experiments are conducted, or figure 2 shows the analysis of variance, or figure 3 shows the effect of this process parameter on the responses. So that is what is called as citing. You should be making sure, because you are writing, you're not using LaTeX format. You are using LaTeX, then it is fine. By default, it will ask you unless and until it is not going to be saved. But if you're writing in the Word format, no, you must definitely you cite it. Otherwise, it is not going to be accepted. Okay, they must be cited, and also they must be provided with proper description with technical analysis and justification. Okay, and make sure do not repeat the data from each figure. The data from each figure should not be repeated. The key observation from the results may be noted. Do not forget the statistical validate results. But suppose you are getting some optimum condition, then you should conduct some experiment to compare your work with the optimum condition. Again, try to find the error percentage. And if it is coming within 10% error, that is acceptable. Develop the flow. Develop the flow for the next coming few section. That is very, very important. This is how you are going to write your result and discussion section. And in some cases, and in most cases, you'll find that this result and discussion, they're actually merged. They're actually single section. But in some cases, reviewers or editors want a separate discussion section. Okay. Then in that case, you'll have to write results section separately and discussion separately. But mostly they will not do that. Mostly they will ask you to write the result and discussion section at a time simultaneously. Okay, and develop key sentences into paragraph. Compare your results with prior literature. This is very, very important. Whatever results, this is for validation. As I've told you, compare your results with the prior literature, because you, if you are a beginner, you should start their work with their input variables. You develop their model and put their input variable into that model and try to get their result. If you're getting their result, your work is correct. And whatever you are getting some deviation, your work is not correct. Okay, so to address that, you compare it with the previous literature. Whatever the literature has been already there, you compare your work with the previous researcher. If there is any deviation, you should justify for them why it is like this, why it is not like this, why it is that. You should provide proper technical analysis and justification for the concurrences and differences. And finally, you should make your way for conclusion. Okay. So what is conclusion? Conclusion, you should not directly jump into conclusion, not from summary of the result. Conclusion, you can, one example of conclusion you can see, give some background again, or the brief summary of your work. So what has been already done? An experiment like this you can start. An experimental work is performed on this EDM process to evaluate the effect of input parameters on the responses, and with these many input parameters, then this is the optimum condition I have found. The optimum condition is being validated with some confirmative test, and with predicting an error percentage less than 10%. And these are some of the important findings. Those important findings, you can summarize them properly. Okay, don't raise this very hedgy sentences, big sentences. Try to write simple sentences. And this is what some of the major conclusions which has been drawn from the study. Only major findings you highlight, and you can end. Okay, and in the end, there is also some you should, because not all the research are successful. There must be some limitation. That limitation also you should highlight. Like for this work, I have highlighted. It is to be noted that conclusion from the joint study is valid for this work tool pair combination. That is Inconel workpiece and Brass as the tool pair. And for others, tool and work combination results may different. So these are the limitation for this study you can consider. And with this, now you have completed everything. Your reference, next is reference writing. Reference should be strictly according to the guideline of the journal. Where he is writing, if he is starting according to the Harvard style of reference, you should follow that. If they are writing according to APA style of reference, you should follow according to that. Directly go to the site of the journal, go to the template, download, and according to their guideline only you should write your references. Okay, then your manuscript, after end of your references, your manuscript is now ready. Now you cannot directly upload it. You should check for grammar check, because you need to proofread it number of times, 3 to 4 times. You need to proofread more number of times you will proofread. It will be less error free. If it will be less error free, less comment you are going to get in case of your reviews. Okay, and spell check. In the grammar check, you can do. There is a particular software called Grammarly. You can use for checking that Grammarly. Then you need to proof it and proofread. Then you need to check for spelling individually. Read every line by line for each sentence, so that you can understand where is the problem, or you should not use two ands in between sentence. Make sure that sentences are meaningful, written in coincides, and giving clear goals and objective for that particular work. Okay, and references, as I've told you, reference should be checked, and there should be feedback. This feedback is important. You can take feedback from your colleague, from your supervisor, from your friend, whoever is close to you. They will support you in taking their feedback. Take their feedback. According to that, again, you restructure, modify your manuscript. Now your manuscript is ready, provided your plagiarism check should be done. Your plagiarism for different journal, they are having different guidelines for plagiarism. For a journal like Elsevier journal, they are asking for plagiarism of less than 15%. Some journal like high impact factor journals, if we go journal of cleaner production, they are asking for plagiarism should be less than 10%. So different journals are having different guidelines. Better you go for plagiarism in duplichecker.com, or you can go for, there is a very good software named Turnitin. It will catch every consecutive sentences. Okay, you can use Turnitin to check for your plagiarism, and after checking your plagiarism, if it is coming less than 10%, now you are ready for your paper is ready for uploading in the journal site. Okay, and what you are going to do, you need to, next is before you are making ready of your making ready manuscript is ready for uploading on the journal site. There are some rules for your authorship that I must tell you. The award of authorship should be balance intellectual contribution to the concept, design, analysis, and writing of the study against the collection of data and reunite of the work. All authors must take public responsibility of the content of their paper. The corresponding author, this is very, very important. The corresponding author responsibility is to give due acknowledgement to all the co-workers contributed for this work. Those who are contributed significantly in the research field, they should be listed as co-authors. And on submission of the manuscript, the corresponding author attests the fact that the name of the all co-authors have agreed for the submission of this publication, and accepts for the responsibility for having publicly include all co-authors. Okay, these are the rule. And while finalizing, you should your number of authors. There are two authors. They are very important. Three types of authors are there. One is your first author, another is your corresponding author, another is your co-author. The first author is considered to be the soul of the manuscript. The first author is considered to be the soul of the manuscript. That means he has done the majority of the work, entire experiment he has done. He is the writing, everything he has done, idea also he has done. So he is the corresponding author. First author. The corresponding author role is an expert. He must be a corresponding author, must be expert in that particular field, so that he will be able to address the reviewer's comment in that particular field. Okay, that is the corresponding author. Then the corresponding author, they will share equal benefit while the paper is going to be finally accepted. While there are some intermediate people, they will be doing in drafting the paper, some correcting the language of the paper, some will do some work in doing some simulation, some optimum, they will do some experiment. Like we engage some UG student to conduct some experiment. We cannot give them authorship because they cannot write papers. In that case, we'll have to give them author, because they also need paper for their higher studies, to apply for higher studies for MS. Wherever they are going, they need to show that we have published some paper. If they will be having one paper, they will smoothly get that MS fellowship in any of the foreign university, top university, MIT or NUS, anywhere in NUS Singapore or NTU in Singapore, anywhere they can easily through. So even they also want. So our UG students are also publishing papers. So that is very, very important. And another is these three authors, they are all controlled by this corresponding author, because corresponding author will be uploading the paper on the site of the journal. He will write the conflict of interest for all the authors, as well as for the first author, as well as for the co-authors. For everyone, he has to write. He has to do everything, and he must be expert in that particular field, so that he can address the reviewers' comments. Okay, and selection of a journal. I think I have already told you. You need to go to the site of the journal directly. Suppose I am working in particular core manufacturing field. I am having 4 or 5 journals identified. Journal of Manufacturing Process, SAGE Part B, and Arabian Science of Engineering and Technology. Directly you go to the site of the journal. So this is one site of the journal. How you are going to cite? I have told you. You should search. I'll write SAGE Part B. So you can directly go to the site journal. It's a UK based journal, UK, United Kingdom based journal. Impact factor, directly you see impact factor. Impact factor is 2.6. Even if it is having impact factor 2.6, it is a very prestigious journal in the field of mechanical engineering. You will not get a paper published through this journal. It is very difficult to get published paper through this journal. Okay. So the impact factor, I think it is not visible. Jivan sir, it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible, sir. It is visible. I think there is you have to accept.
Yeah. You can see the sage journal. As I've told you, you need to search for what indexing of the journal. So it is having impact factor 2.6. Even if it is having impact factor 2.6, it's a very prestigious journal. Okay, in my mechanical manufacturing field. Okay, and it's a UK based journal. And let us now see the information. Go to journal information to know about the indexing, aims and scopes. Okay, I have come to the aims and scope. Description. You see, indexing is here over here. Directly go to the site of the journal. Then you try for searching indexing. Indexing there, what you see? What are the citation? Abstract and indexing. Where is science citation index expanded? Google Scholar, Scopus. It is indexed in Scopus. You can see it is indexed in Scopus already. Scopus citation means it is good. SNIP, SJR it is having, and abstracting indexing. What I mean, I need this one. You can see my prime objective is whether it is SCI indexed or not. Definitely it is having impact factor means it is having it must be SCI indexed. So you must all target to publish papers in SCI indexed journals. Okay. So in abstracting indexing, it is SCI indexed means it is a good journal. This is how you need to go to the site of the journal, get yourself familiar with the journal. Regularly you need to visit. Okay. And you need to identify the journals. Okay. And you need to see whether they are accepting this type of work, what you are targeting, you are planning for, that you need to see. Okay. So don't, and also you should not always go for impact factor. Impact factor you should not always run. Like I have shown you, this journal is a very good journal. This journal is a very good journal. It is having impact factor of 2.6, but still it is a very prestigious journal. It is very difficult. Mind it is very difficult to publish a paper in a journal of impact factor 2.6. It is in particular, I'm saying in engineering field, very difficult. And if you're publishing one paper, you are a jewel then. So I'm very lucky that this year one of my scholar published one paper in this field. He's a very energetic person and very intellectual person. He published a paper recently. It is going very shortly. It is going to come online. Okay, so we'll discuss about that. And scope, as I've told, you need to check the scope of the journal and the average cycle there. This is a very important. You should not aim for only one publisher. You should go for Elsevier, Springer. It should not stick to one publisher. Springer, publisher, Wiley, Taylor and Francis. Everywhere you should have a luck. You should try your luck. Okay, and you should check the average decision time. Like for journals, for some journal, the average decision time will be, some journals will be accepted within 3-4 months. Some will take 1 year or 2 years, even 3 years. After 3 years, they will not be accepted. That review process will be continuing. In that case, whatever, if you are having any scholar, the scholar PhD will be extended unnecessary. He has to pay a fee for the institute, and this is going to create a lot of problem. In the end, he's going to get harassed, and you should avoid all these things. So you should check the average decision cycle for the journal. How can you check it? Directly, you download any papers. Suppose I'm giving an example. You can see one of my published paper, a particle, optimization of cryotreated. So I'm having already that paper here over here. I need not have to download. You can see. You see. And the journal, after you have downloaded the papers, where will be there? You see, published online 11th April 2018. Published online. When it is accepted? Oh, here on the top surface, it is clearly written. It is received in July 2017. revised in October 2017 and got accepted in 27th November. But when it came online in the next year, April 11th April 2018. Okay, so you need to check this cycle. Some papers, I've told you, no, some papers will be accepted very fast. Some papers will be accepted, they will take a year, 2-3 years time. So depending upon your work, you can decide. You need fast publication, you need rapid publication, you need to a slow progress, whatever you want, you can go for. Generally, if you go for Elsevier, within 6 months, you will get your paper published. Okay. So that is what is you need to check the average citation cycle, average decision cycle for the journal. Okay, and B, this is very important. You should be very much aware of this predatory journals. Okay, this is very important. The all paid journals are not predatory, but some journals like IJERT, IJECT, local publishers, they are all West. They are predatory journals. Now you can ask me, what do you mean by predatory journals? We'll have a predatory journal is a publication that actively asks researchers for manuscript. Okay, every day he will send you one mail. Sir, please upload paper. Even I get also many mails from this type of journals. Okay, they don't have a peer review system. They have no true editorial board, and they found to publish publish Medicore or even worthless papers. Okay, so Medicore means that is not very ordinary or worthless paper they want to publish. They'll take some money, they'll try to publish. There will be no editorial board, there will be no peer review process, nothing will be there. So to spot a predatory journal, what you should do, you should always check the journal. As I've told you, you should go directly to the site of the journal. You directly go check for the journal whether it is indexed in Scopus. ESCI stands for Emerging Source Citation Index, or SCI is Science Citation Index. Check for their indexing. Okay, check for the journal's contact information and research editorial board information. Take a look at the peer review process, publication timelines, everything you should read. Then only you will be knowing the difference in between a predatory journal. One predatory journal, if you will say, I'm going to show you right now. One predatory journal is IJERT or IJECT. You directly Engineering Research Technology, you can see the first is IJERT, International Journal of Engineering. These are all worst. They will write, in some cases they will also write the impact factor for this journal is this much. You can see they are always, today you will pay means after 2-3 days it will be published. They are already open. Submit your paper. It is already ready. You should not get biased by these journals. All are waste. They will take. There is no peer review system. After few days they will publish it. Try to avoid publishing papers in these types of journals. Okay, so after doing this, this is how you are going to avoid the predatory journals. And then what do editors want? Editors want follow journals guidelines, originality. That means you should plagiarism should be less, clarity in the message. You should maintain structure, flow, tone, everything I have told you. Research methodology, theoretical and practical implementation, good title and good abstract. It should be having a good title, and catchy title should be catchy. That keyword like 3D printing must be there. So that trump card, you need to have a trump card. That trump card will help you to penetrate into reviewer's comment. Okay, he will tear up. He'll be tear up. Okay, and arranging reference, everything should be in perfect order. Some journals, what they do, they will do, no, they will ask for their reference only. In that case, that is also one trick to publish some papers. Like you go for this one, there is one journal of manufacturing process from Treadler Francis. It will directly say you add 3 to 4 papers. The editor will mail you. Then only the paper will be considered. So immediately the author has what he has to do in the reference. He has to remove whatever previous reference. He has to remove them, and he has to add 4-5 papers from Journal of Manufacturing Process. Then the paper will be accepted. Okay. And the last but not least, the code of conduct. The code of conduct is the conflict of interest. Okay, the corresponding author has to declare that there is no conflict of interest on behalf of all co-authors, and they have properly acknowledged to the organization for which they have received any funding, financial support to carry out the research. Okay, and some cases, no, what will happen? In some cases, you need to, there is some other type of interest, like I'm having some problem with anyone. He's also a very good potential researcher. So there is enough chance that if I'm submitting, he's also in my field, there is enough chance that if I'm submitting a paper, being he's a wide researcher, great researcher in my field, my paper will first go to him as a reviewer. Now what, since there is a relation in between that person and me is not good, in that case, what you'll see that this type of work, he will be that much thorough. By reading the paper, he will be able to know this is from that person paper only. So what he will do, he will give intentionally, he will give some bad remark and back feedback, and he will write the same to the editor-in-chief to reject the manuscript. So that is what is called a other conflict of interest. That should be also avoided. Person, if you are having any close relation or close rivalry, you should be avoided. And there should not be any strong sympathy. That means if I'm known to a person, he is also a very good researcher, that doesn't mean that I'll give him my name as to review the manuscript. That's also not entertainable. In that case, nowadays journals are not entertaining that, but earlier it was happening. So all this have to be declared by the corresponding author itself. Okay. Now there is a letter of this is very, very important. Once you have prepared your paper, you should write a cover letter. Okay. Now what is a cover letter? A useful tips. When you submit your article to a journal, you often need to include a cover letter. The cover letter should explain why your work is perfect in that journal, why it will be interesting to journal's readers. A cover letter, a covering letter, or motivation letter is an accompanying letter attached to the prior submission of the manuscript for the journal. So a sample set of cover letter I am having over here. In the next slide, you can see I have written a cover letter. 29th July 2021, I wrote this letter. I wrote to whom? To the editor-in-chief. Proceedings. This stage part B. Proceedings of the Institute of Mechanical Engineers, Part B, Journal of Engineering Manufacture. Subject. I'm very formal. So I'm just writing submission of a manuscript. I'm not requesting, or you should not. Not I am. You should not. I mean, we should not. We should not beg for publication. Okay. The tower here with submitting our scholarly work. I'm very formal over here. My manuscript name contributed by these authors is submitting to your esteemed journal, Journal of Part B, Sage Part B. This is to declare that the presented material in the manuscript is an outcome of the original research carried out by the authors. And also, you should be very much sure that you should not submit one paper to more than 2 journals. That is what is the acknowledgement you should write. That is also you are writing a no conflict of interest over here. This is to declare that the presented material in the manuscript is the outcome of the original research carried out by researchers. No part or full of it is submitted to any of the journal or conferences. Okay, you should write it and write it with regards your name, and you can go for submitting. Some journals, they will ask for highlight. Highlight is nothing but your major findings or major tool and equipment, whatever you have used, that you should write in your own language. Okay, so this is an example of a highlight. Use of combined direct and indirect cryogenic process, effect of important process parameters on soaking duration, lowering temperature, Topsys based ANNGA. These are all highlight tools. Conformative test has been conducted, so this highlight has been highlighted. In this highlight, this highlight in some journals, it will directly come on the side of the journal. Like I'm giving an example. The name of the paper is Optimal Approach for Enhancing an Optimal Approach. You can see the highlight will be directly visible on the site of the journal, Elsevier. The direct it will be available. You can see directly you'll go to the site of the journal. This paper has been accepted in Journal of Manufacturing Process. You can see the highlight will be directly available in the page itself. Abstract, show more. Click on show more. Oh, it is not there, but in the first page of the paper, it must be there. Okay, the highlight, but here in this case, it is not being shown over here. But if you go to any other journal, it is going to be definitely present. Okay, like any journal of cleaner production, it must be there. So with this highlight, the paper will be get through. Okay, and after writing highlight, you can see recommendation, or you should upload your recommendation of reviewers if you're knowing a particular reviewer in that particular field. You should not upload a reviewer from your organization, neither, but he must be a renowned researcher in your field, and there should not be any conflict of interest. He should not be your close collaborator or a colleague, and he should not be from your organization, and you should provide your institute email address. Everything we are going to provide. Review recommendation, then your path to upload. You are going to upload your paper. Where you are going to upload it? This is the part. First, you should arrange it everything. Cover letter, highlight, main document. Main document is the entire length of the manuscript. Everything will be there. List of figure, list of table. So if there is any supplementary file, you keep it. Then enter author detail, then enter reviewer's detail, declaration of conflict of interest, that there is no conflict of interest, acknowledgement for financial support. Then finally, you are going to build your PDF for approval. PDF will be generated. If everything is all right, you approve your submission. Okay. Once you are approved it, your manuscript will now face the review process. It will go to the reviewer. At that point of time, what you need to do? You have uploaded a manuscript. In between, 6 months have been passed, or some journals will take 1.5 months to 2 months. So what they will do, once it has been completely review process has been completed, the editor will send you a mail. Okay. Sometimes they will ask you for revision. Okay. If they ask you for revision, that means you should celebrate. That means revision means the journal is interested. Revision means your journal is interested. That means you should modify your manuscript according to the journal comment. The paper will get through, and address all your reviewers' concern, and don't take anything personally. You should not take anything personally. Take all comments positively, review your manuscript thoroughly, and again upload. Okay. You upload, and you are going to see this is actually how to write a rebuttal. Okay. You should write very politely to a rebuttal while addressing the rebuttal comment. The first you can see rebuttal. Rebuttal is nothing but the response to the reviewer comment is called as rebuttal. Okay. Response to the reviewer comment. You can write the title and the title of the paper, then the manuscript number. While you are uploading your first revision, you make sure that it is revision 1. That's why it is R1 over here. When you are uploading your second revision, it should be R2. Then authors, who are your authors, Prashant Jadhav and Chinmay P. Mohanty, I am myself were the authors. And read the lines carefully. Authors extend their heartiest gratitude to the editor-in-chief and associate editor for the anonymous reviews and comments, taking interest in our scholarly work and providing constructive suggestion to improve the technical literary content of the manuscript. The manuscript is now revised truly, addressing the comments of the reviewers. The reviewers' queries are answered and appended below. The changes incorporated in the revised manuscript are highlighted in yellow. That means whatever changes you are doing to a revised manuscript, you should highlight in yellow so that reviewer will be able to understand. So that it is easy for your reviewer to know, okay, these are my comments, these are the changes. Okay, you should write it in this way. Reviewer 1, write like that. You address all your reviewers' comment. Like reviewer 1 comment, your response to that. Like that, 3 or 4 reviewers will be there. You write reviewer 1, their comment. Reviewer 1, once you completed reviewer 1 comment, then you write reviewer 2's comment, their response for them. And once you are completing everything, reviewer comment, you can revise your manuscript. You can completely revise your manuscript, and you can now upload. Okay. Now what you can do, you can directly, after revising your manuscript, how it is going to look like, how your manuscript is going to look like. So that I'm going to show you. Okay, this is the final uploaded for Sage Part B. Sage Part B, you can see the manuscript number, revision R1. R1 is being shown over here. Okay. Then you can see this is the rebuttal. First, as I've told you, first is you should upload your cover letter. After cover letter, your response to the reviewer comment, rebuttal, author name. Then you can see all the questions by the reviewers is being discussed with a polite way, and it has been answered. Or you need to satisfy all the reviewers' comment. Even if one reviewer does not get satisfied, the paper will not be accepted. Again, the pen will come back either for revision, or your manuscript will be rejected by the editor. So better you revise according to the reviewers' comment everything and submit everything. So here I am having 2 reviewers. So reviewer 1 comment has been over here, and reviewer 2 comment started over here. Everything is started, and now you can see everything, and whatever changes are implemented in the manuscript, they are being highlighted in yellow. So everything you can see, highlighted region will come. You can see all these changes are highlighted in yellow. I'll slightly reduce the zoom out portion. The changes included are highlighted in yellow for the reviewer, so they will be able to read everything clearly. So changes are included, and reviewer is now satisfied. So I have uploaded this rebuttal file along with revised manuscript. And after uploading, when just 1 month has been completed, after 1 month has been completed, I received a letter from this editor, Journal of Part B, Sage 2.6 Impact Factor, very prestigious journal. What letter I received? What receipt I received? Dear Dr. Mohanty, it is a pleasure. You cannot feel what I feel. I was just in a cloud, and even my scholar also, he got his degree. It's a pleasure to accept your manuscript, performance assessment of energy efficient, eco-friendly turning of a comparative study on MQL and cryogenic machining in its correct form for publication in Journal of Engineering Manufacture. So once paper is accepted, we should celebrate with that the paper. But if your this is the condition. If paper gets accepted, you can celebrate. But what if paper is rejected? Find out your way. What is the reason for that? You need to work out of it. Rework your paper, target a different value, resubmit. Don't because you have spent so much of time in writing the paper, you should not get it throw to garbage like that. Again, rework, revise your manuscript according to the comment of the reviewer, rework on it and modify it and target a different venue and resubmit your manuscript. Or otherwise, if you want to submit your paper to that journal and they have asked you for some novelty related issue, you can write the same to the editor. That is called as appeal to the editor. Okay, in that case you can highlight whatever you want. The novelty of the manuscript you can highlight and you can write once you write to the editor highlighting the novelty that this has been done, this has not been done, so these are the gap areas which must be fulfilled, then the reviewer may consider again. And what it will do, appeal, once you are going to appeal it, you are going to get some success. He will ask you to submit the revised file with the rebuttal. With the rebuttal you are going to submit, then again you may get some success. So this is how, and here are some standard reference size cells, the reference links for your information. And I thank you very much from the core of my heart for getting accumulated on this virtual mode and giving me this opportunity to deliver this webinar. Thank you very much, all of you, my dear colleagues and my dear friends, my senior professors, director sir, Jeevan sir, all. I'm very much grateful to you all. Thank you very much.
Sir, it is a very overwhelming response, and you delivered a talk with very great energy levels throughout the talk. So really, I can say that it is a very fruitful session to everyone. So, sir, shall we conduct some Q&A session?
Sir, should I stop sharing the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can.
Yeah, please.
Sir, do we start some? Do we take some questions from students?
Yes, definitely.
Dear all students, if you have any questions, so you can ask sir and interact. This is a time to interact with interaction. Please, guys, am I audible?
Participants, if you have any suggestions, yeah, Oliza.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I had a question.
Yeah, please.
So you said that we can use a university ID to access the journals. So if you could please share that with us.
I could not get you. I mean, university ID means?
Oliza, sir, may I? Chinmay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Oliza, when you will be in the campus, if you are accessing certain journals through Amity internet, then only you will be able to access that. So wherever Amity or VIT or IIT, wherever they have subscribed for the journals, you will get the access if you are accessing those journals within the Amity University internet services. It is for all the institutes like that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
I think all the universities are having some access to those particular journals. You go inside university, every university is having some user ID password. You log in through that, like we are having in VIT, VIT Gateway. That is a site. And VIT Gateway is having a username password for each individual faculty as well as for scholars. And not only for scholars, but also for UG students. You can download papers not only inside VIT, even outside VIT also we can download.
Yes, here we have access through Amazon, our own internet intranet. Yes, sir. So if those who are interested, they can visit the e-library section. You will find certain journals, and sometimes the network takes the IP addresses also. So if it is outside Amity, then it may not be able to give you the paper. Somebody else also was raising the hand.
Yes, sir. Me. Good afternoon. I'm Pranay.
Yeah, please, Pranay, tell me.
Yeah, I want to know. I'm currently in first year. what is an ideal time I can involve myself in going for a writing a research paper?
You are in first year right now.
Yes, sir.
I think you should concentrate on your study right now. You should not. You should focus on basic. At least up to end of second year, you should not get yourself distracted from your core aerospace mechanical subject related subjects. After second year, in third year onwards, you can start. In the fifth semester onwards, you can search papers in Science Direct, download papers, get some idea. You will read it once. You remember it. Read it once, you will not get anything. You will not get a single word. Okay, you need to read it number of times. You need to Google it. Whatever you are not getting, just Google it. Google it. You will get a lot of information. Okay, about that. So
Got it,
3-4 times you will need it, and after fifth semester you can start.
Yeah. To add to that, Pranay, actually technical papers, they assume that the reader has certain knowledge of the field, so they don't start with some basic. It's not like a book or the paper that we present in technical
Yes, sir,
festivals.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes.
that is, as sir said, from third year onwards, it is you will have better understanding of the domain, so that you can get in touch with the faculty to do some sort of research.
Yes, sir.
There
Yes,
are
sir.
some faculties also who are joined. I request them to give the feedback so that you also know whether it was useful for the faculties as well or not.
Sir, please, could you please give your feedback or opinions or any queries? Please.
In addition to that, I have shared the feedback form link in the chat box. Those who are participating right now, please fill the form till 4:30 p.m. today. Okay, that is for our own record purpose, and we have to inform the sir also in detail. So we have received a comment from Dr. Trupti Sutar saying that it was a very informative session. She is asking that some sites like Sci-Hub for downloading the paid journals.
Sir, Sci-Hub is, I think it is banned in India right now, because if VIT we cannot open Sci-Hub. Maybe you can try in your personal phone.
Yes, it is illegal to allow Sci-Hub inside the institutes.
Yeah.
We cannot access.
Yeah. By connecting your phone through your laptop through your phone, you may be able to download.
Yeah. Usually, if, in my opinion, sir, I also have seen that if you write to that particular author, also sometimes they respond sending their paper if you are interested.
Yes, sir. That you can do, sir. Directly mail to the author, so that request them to send their published paper. They will send you their paper.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much
for sharing your time from your busy schedule.
Sir, no, sir. It is my pleasure, sir. It is my pleasure. I have been fortunate enough to such a reputed university invited me to give a talk. I don't know, but I have tried my best to give my best for this session. I don't know how I have come up to that.
I had visited VIT Vellore in the year 2013 or 14, long back.
Yes, sir.
With my friend for some discussion on 3D printing side. I visited mechanical department only. I don't remember who were there. One of the faculty was from MS University, Baroda. He is PG from that institute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that was the thing.
Yes, sir.
So, Jivan sir,
yes, sir.
We can now give the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Please, sir, you please give the vote of thanks. But before that, before concluding the session, I would like to say very big thanks to Professor Mohanty sir, because despite of his busy schedule and he's occupied with so many
even I
other
am
things.
very much grateful to get this opportunity to address this gathering on virtual mode. So I thank very much Director sir and Jivan sir, Jigar sir, Shiva sir, everyone who has given me this great opportunity.
Really, this is a time. Yeah, this is a time to bridge the gap between whatever the misconceptions and what are the lack of areas the research scholars, the students, the faculties who have. So you have fulfilled that. So now I would request Jigar sir to give the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Professor Mohanty, for
Sir,
your
thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
really informative session. And
Thank
the
you very
way
much, sir.
you had shown the way to publish your paper, it was useful for it, since it was a general topic. It was useful for not only engineering but other departments as well. Some of
Yes.
them had registered also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm also thankful to our director, sir, my colleagues from Amity School of Engineering and Technology, our Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, and our president also. So we could have access to this online system, our IT team, everyone else who had, even this brochure was made by our marketing team immediately within a day or so after we gave the information. So I'm thankful to everyone who has helped us conducting this webinar online. Hopefully you have learned something new by this webinar, or you have gained some more knowledge. If you have already published few papers, you gain certain more knowledge so that you can reach one more impact factor. Instead of 2, you can reach 2.53 also. So thank you everyone. We can
Thank you
now
very much,
sign
sir.
off. Sir,
Thank you very
we
much,
can
sir.
leave now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And
Thank you, sir.
thank you all the participants for your continuous alertness during the session. Thank you.
Thank
Shall
you,
we
sir.
close the
Thank you,
meeting?
Chinmay sir.